Hey, what's up guys? It's Texamer talking to you here. And today I want to do something different than everyone else is doing because as you know, yesterday all of the reviews about the M1 iPad Air came out and you were flooded with a ton of information about this new iPad Air. Yes, this iPad Air was announced together with the M1 Ultra Max Studio on Apple's March event, and it was actually quite exciting when Apple launched it because not other than launched a new beautiful color and of course a purple color, but they introduced the M1 chip instead of the A15 we were expecting. But that's very weird because Apple normally doesn't put high-end chips or pro chips in the iPad lineup, not in the pros. So we were actually confused, and why Apple did it, we are still on the unknown. But according to some leakers, that may be so Apple can save on the A15 chips because of the chip shortage. It's finally eating Apple, and so as you know, next year the iPhone 14 and 14 Max won't have the A16, but the A15, it's being rumored by Minchico, by the way. Now we are expecting that Apple is trying to save on the A15 chip as much as they can, so they are putting the M1 on the iPad Air. Yes, the M1 on the iPad Air. And so in this video, I do not want to review the iPad Air because I don't have one. I do not want to tell you that the iPad Air is the best iPad ever. In this video, I want to offer you a different solution to the iPad Air. So if you are looking for the iPad Air, are you expecting to get the iPad Air, or at least are looking for the new iPad, then I have an offer for you that may be a little bit more enticing than the iPad Air. And I'm talking about the 2018 iPad Pro. Yes, this is the iPad Pro from 2018. I still use it. It's my best Apple device that has lasted the longest, not counting the Apple Watch because this is also from 2018. I bought them around the same time. This iPad is amazing. I love it so much, and let me tell you, it's just incredible. And in today's day and age, I still believe that you should spend your money in one of these and not the M1 iPad Air, although they go for around the same price. So in this video, I will tell you why I do think this 2018 refurbished iPad Air is still one of the best options for you instead of course, the M1 iPad Air, which is also a very amazing iPad, but there's some quirks that is iPad Air and features that the iPad Air doesn't have. And so instead of looking more at the performance side of the M1, I mean, who doesn't need more performance than this? This has the A12X, which is just incredible. The M1 iPad Air has, of course, the M1. But when you try to squeeze and take the juice out, I mean, on the iPad OS, you don't have much to do it. So in this video, I will tell you why I do think this is the best option when compared to the iPad Air. But before we do that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for you to see more videos like this one. And if you enjoy them, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe because that will help a lot. And I really appreciate your support. But no further ado, let's get started. So, as you know, the iPad Air starts at 64 gigabytes, starts at $599 and comes with the M1 chip. This iPad Air also now comes with an upgraded speaker system and of course 5G. These are the upgrades to the iPad Air lineup with a better chip, a little bit better speakers, and of course new colors and 5G. Now we can call it an upgrade to the iPad Air lineup. We first got this design on 2020 with the iPad Air 4. It got the 10.9-inch display, the iPad Pro 2018 treatment. Now, of course, 2 years later, or 1.5 years later, we got another refresh to this lineup, adding 5G, and mainly the M1 chip. Now, at $599, we at least keep the 64 gigabyte model, which, in my opinion, is not enough. And so, you will be forced in a way to spend a little bit extra on the 256. And when I say a little bit extra, it's not a little bit, it's a ton of money extra. It's $749 to get the, of course, 256 gigabyte model. You cannot get the 128 gigabyte, you jump from the 64 to the 256. So you have to pay $749 for this iPad Air. And for only $50 more, you get the 11-inch iPad Pro, which is a way better deal. You get the M1 chip, the same chip on the iPad Air. You get the 128 gigabytes, which is half of the iPad Air, but you get the 120 Hz amazing promotion display, the amazing quad speaker system, and you get a ton of things. You also get 5G. So yes, in my opinion, if you're going to buy an iPad Air and you want to buy a new iPad and you are looking at the iPad Air, oh, I don't want a refurbished iPad Air, I don't want an old iPad, I want just the newest and available iPad, then do not buy the iPad Air. Go for the $799 iPad Pro. In my opinion, that's the best new high-end up iPad on the lineup. The 12.9 inch is actually very expensive and it's very, very big. I have a 12.9 inch here, and you can see if I put close it to my face, you can see it's big. It's actually very, very big. Now with the screen forward, you will have the idea how big it is. See, this is my face, this is the screen. It's very, very big. But if you want one of these, then there's no better deal than this 12.9 inch iPad Pro from 2018. Forget your misconceptions about used iPads or even refurbished iPads. If you go from one from Apple, it's almost brand new. You'll have a new battery, you'll have amazing components. Apple just guarantees you 100% of satisfaction on, of course, the refurbished store. And you can get the 11 inch for less than the iPad Air. Yes, you can get the 11 inch for around $500 on the refurbished store. The iPad Pro with the A12X chip, with the ProMotion display, with the quad speaker system, yes, that's very enticing. Yes, that's the best deal on the iPad lineup, in my opinion. But if you really do want the 12.9 inch screen that this iPad gives you, then you can go for the $600 refurbished version of the 12.9 inch iPad Pro from 2018, and that's the same price as the iPad Air, and you get a bigger display, you get the quad speaker system, which is way better than only the dual speaker system on the iPad Air. You get, of course, my best feature on the iPad lineup and the Pro lineup in general, which is ProMotion display. The ProMotion is so smooth, it's so incredible, it's just amazing. You also get Face ID, which the iPad Air has the Touch ID on the power button, which I don't find as convenient as having the Face ID, because you simply look at your iPad, you just swipe up and it unlocks. And so this is the best version of Face ID in my opinion. You can do it like this and unlocks, because the Face ID you can do it in every single orientation. I can move it like backwards, it's now firing downwards, the Face ID system is right there, I look and I unlock it, it just unlocked. So yes, it works in every single orientation of the iPad Pro. It's way better than the Touch ID button on the iPad Air. It has the same amount of storage, or 128 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes if you really want the real base model iPad Pro on the refurbished store. You can find tons of them. You have the flash here, you can see that you don't have on the iPad Air. You have this amazing camera that can record 1080p at 60 frames per second. It's good, takes good photos, but you will mainly use it for digitizing stuff. You get this front camera which has a Face ID system. One downside that you won't have here is the center stage, which is an incredible feature on the iPad Air, and of course the newest iPad Pros and the most cheap iPad ever, the iPad, and of course the iPad mini. You have now the center stage is available on every single iPad now. But this 2018 iPad Pro, I mean, center stage is cool, but you won't pay, or I will not trade the 120 Hz from this iPad to form a center stage camera, so you have to weigh things out. Of course, the iPad Air, it's new, it's from 2022, so you can guarantee you with the M1 chip 8 to 10 years of support. But with this A12X chip, I mean, it's just insanely good. It's from 2018, and I do expect it to get updates at least 6 years more. So I mean, in about 3 to 4 to 5 years, you will want to upgrade your iPad because it's old. So I mean, who does want that? Of course, if you're really worried about that, just get the A12Z from the 2020. You will get the double camera system, which is another perk. Of course, this iPad gets 4 gigabytes of RAM on the 128, on the 256, and the 512 gigabyte models. If you get to 1 terabyte, you get 6 gigabytes of RAM memory on the A12X. But if you are worried about the RAM, of course, the iPad Air comes with 6 gigabytes on the M1, then don't worry. Just get the A12Z iPad Pro, which has the 6 gigabyte option. So you have to weigh things out. Oh, do I want that? No, I want that. I mean, the iPad Air, at the end of the day, I don't think it's the best deal, just because it doesn't have the best screen, it doesn't have the best speakers, it doesn't have the best camera, it doesn't have the flash, and although it has like Touch ID, which some people prefer to Face ID, I don't quite enjoy it. And of course, the bezels are a little bit thicker. You won't notice it, but if you put them side by side, you will actually do. So yes, you have the 12.9 inch option. On the iPad Air you don't. So for about the same price, you can get this iPad Pro instead of the iPad Air, and I still do recommend it just because the quad speaker system here is insane. Take it here out of it. Of course, Face ID is a joy to use, like I showed you before. Then you have the promotion display, which if you don't know what it is, you can see it here. Like, it's way smoother than a regular 60 Hz display. The other iPad is a 60 Hz iPad 7, I think, so from 2018, the regular iPad, or from 2017. I mean, this is a great option, and I do recommend this iPad Pro for most people. 99% of people that want a new iPad, then just get a refurbished one. The Apple refurbished store is incredible. It has tons of options. You can get one for cheap, and there's always available. Please search for used or even refurbished iPad Pros. These are the best deals because you get 95% or 90% of current day tech. For example, the 12.9 inch from 2021 has the M1 chip. It has mini LED. That's it. That's the only things they have better than this one, and of course the dual camera system. But if you compare against the 2020 model, which is just $50 more expensive on the refurbished store, then of course it has a dual camera, so you just have M1 chip, which doesn't make any difference on iPadOS against the A12X or the A12Z, and you get, I mean, mini LED, which has some major blooming problems on the iPad Pro. So yes, I do like this LCD display, is incredible if you don't really care, or if you're like a display geek or display peeping guy. I mean, the iPad Pro is such an amazing deal that I cannot recommend you the iPad Air for anything. Yes, in my opinion, this is the best deal for the iPad, and if I had to buy another iPad, I would buy the 2020 refurbished version of this one. No, I will not buy the most current iPad, or at least I would wait until the new iPad Pro comes out to see what happens. But yes, the iPad Air, although it seems $599, oh, it's a good deal. I get the M1 chip, I get center stage, amazing deal, cool colors. It's a trap. This one is a way better option for you. You'll spend the same amount of money, you'll get way better and more important features than the current M1 iPad Air. The M1, don't worry, doesn't make any difference. If it was on a laptop, then I would say yes, because it has macOS, so you can take Final Cut Pro and edit photos, and then you wouldn't actually notice a difference. But in my opinion, you won't notice any difference because iPadOS is just iPadOS, and it will never be more than that. So you don't need the extra performance because this chip performs amazingly good in every single iPad app ever. LumaFusion here is just insane, almost competes with this MacBook Pro, which, okay, it doesn't compete part to part, but it's like 75% of this MacBook Pro, which is a $4,000 computer. I mean, Photoshop here works great. Affinity Photo here is the best editing software in iPad, in my opinion. I mean, you have tons of options, and this iPad Pro is just insanely good. And you have the flash if you want to digitize documents at a very dark room, and that's it. That's why I think this iPad Pro is the better option than the iPad Air. Although the iPad Air has the M1 chip, has center stage, it doesn't have Face ID, it doesn't have promotion, it doesn't have the quad speaker system. There's a ton of advantages going for this iPad Pro. I mean, either if you go for the $599 option on the iPad Air, you will only get 64 gigabytes, while this one you can get 128 or at least a 256 model for that price. So yes, I don't advise you going for the iPad Air. It's a cool product, it has tons of cool colors, but this iPad Pro has silver, space gray. Silver is good, I prefer the space gray. I mean, you won't care at the end of the day. And it has a bigger screen option, which is a 12.9 inch. You get a ton of more real estate to use your Apple Pencil when you are taking notes, and I mean, it's just incredible. Snaps into place. It has the new Apple Pencil thing. It has the quad speaker system. It has everything that you would want to. It doesn't have 5G, but 5G, who cares about 5G? You will not use 5G. And if you want 5G on the iPad Air, you will have to pay more even. So yes, this iPad Pro, it's only good things. It doesn't have any disadvantages. When you compare it to the iPad Air, I don't see why you wouldn't go for this iPad Pro. But that was it. Let me know in the comments down below what are your opinions on this matter. Do you want the iPad Air, the M1 version, or would you go for the 2018? Let me know on the comments down below, because this iPad Pro from 2018 is just insanely good. You can get one refurbished from the Apple Store for a very good deal, and even the 2020s now are a very good deal at the refurbished Apple Store. So let me know in the comments down below which is your favorite, and would you pick a refurbished iPad Pro from 2018? And while you're there, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate if you do, and I'm very thankful for all of you guys. Of course, don't forget to follow my Twitter account down there. And this was Smart talking to you here. Bye.